Good morning, Paul Watson, Human Signs. We're nationwide suppliers of commercial signs and graphics based in Cape Coral, Florida. We're going to talk a little bit today about lasers. We added a laser to our equipment list. It turned out a little bigger than we had originally planned. It's 8 feet wide and 6 feet deep, and it allows us to cut 51 by 36 inch pieces. Now, we use it for a number of reasons. In part, we use it for fabrication of acrylics or plexiglass, Lexan, that type of product. The advantage is it allows us to cut it, and when we're done, the edge is perfectly smooth like it's been polished, so it saves us the step of going through polishing. It also allows us to cut up to 3/4 of an inch directly in one pass. So it gives us some productivity edges. It also gives us a finished product. This is a piece of 1/2 inch acrylic which was cut in one pass, and even though it's kind of hard to see, the edges are smooth, all the points up on the wings are all sharp, so it doesn't require any additional finishing. So I'm just going to pass that around. But the equipment also allows us to work in other media, and one of the great advantages is in what would be variable data. That would allow us to produce a product with a logo on it and vary a name that might go with it, say as a reward for a sales objective. So it's the customization that also gives us that opportunity. Ironically, the laser running on lower power levels also lets you create envelope sizes by cutting the paper and scoring it so it can be glued together as a custom envelope. It's kind of an interesting thing that you now see in some cases with people that do wedding planning, because the invitations are strange sizes, so now they can fabricate the envelope. But it does edge glass, and at the very end of that, since
Can you do it different colors in wax, or just one type?
well, we can, and I don't know if I have yeah, I do have an example for that. This was a test piece supplied by the manufacturer of the file, and it looks like really a bad green during Mardi Gras, but in any event, you can see the detail, and it's etched into the back. There's a couple of different ways that you can use acrylic. You can either cut in the front or etch in the front and then do what's called paint fill. And grab a paint fill here. This would be a paint fill. So it's already been etched, and then the paint fills it in. And so you've got the color and the translucence rather than just a white film. Pardon me? It's off the laser, yeah. It also, where you don't do that, it also gives you an opportunity to take pictures, which becomes line art, and this image is on the back side, but where you can actually take a building or a picture or a headshot or whatever and put it into it as a etching. In the case of metal, it can also be etched directly with metal. Speaking of metal, coffee cup. This one would actually belong to Divine Air Conditioning, and this is stainless. And what we ended up doing, this type of product, you can etch it, but what happens is it becomes kind of faint because it's etched on silver, and there's not enough contrast. So there's actually a coating that we can add to the stainless and the aluminums, and then etch it with the laser, and it comes out as a blackout. So the contrast is greatly improved, and it actually adds some value to it. The lighter silver version doesn't really, I think, achieve what you want to as a This is, as we just talked about, you can etch some things. This is actually a jump drive in the shape of a key.
Wow.
And so this is a laserable product from the manufacturer, so you can laser it. And I'm going to let Mary Ann do this. On one side, it's got the silver, which is when you lasered it directly. On the second side, it's after we coated it with a coating that would allow us to add the black portion of it. So it's something that really, I think the black in most metal cases is an enhancement. So this is week 2 with the machine, and anything that doesn't move in the office runs through the laser these days. But this is a sign. The art's actually done by Cross Point Church here in Cape Coral. And they needed some room signs, and so they wanted it to be simple. They did a great job on the art. So this actually mounts directly to a wall like that. So as you walk down the hallway, you can see what the room's purpose is. The advantage on this was cut on the laser. So the edges are nice and clean and smooth. We're able to do all the curved corners, which really makes it a lot easier than somebody using a saw or an edger trying to get the corners and the finish on. And then there's wood, the world of wood. This particular product is a foil that we apply to it and then laser it. So it actually bonds to the material. It has a nice raised feel. You know, it can be variable data if that's what somebody wants. So. You sometimes see name tags, or you see instructional labels in elevators, and they're one color and the text is white usually. And that's been an engraved product in the past. Well, now that can be done with a laser. This has actually got a blue coating, and the text is removed by the laser, and very quickly. So the advantage to this as a production item is you can do a 2 by 4 foot sheet of these, and when it's done doing the engraving, it cuts it apart also. So when they come out, they're already cut, they're not scored, they're finished. And this is another version where now you can also do a metallic front. So both in name tags and labels, whether it be elevators, hotels, whatever. And then also out of the wood products, there's a never-ending list of wood products, from bamboo pens to business card cases to frames. And the laser, in the case of wood, most of the wood items, it's just direct laser, and the actual, for lack of a better term, discoloration of wood from the heat gives you a little bit of an outline within the cutout. So it's a very versatile machine. We use it for a number of production items, including ADA signs. But it speeds up the work process. It eliminates part of the cost of refinishing. And we think, in our world, gives us a little bit more variety and makes us more productive. Any question? Thank you.
I have a question. With those 30 keys, you know, that